Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick little check-in with you guys to see how you're doing in I understand that you guys have an endocrine exam this week, so I just wanted to kind of touch base with you, see if you guys had any questions for me. I just wanted to kind of remind you that next week will be exam 2 for pediatrics, and I wanted to kind of give you a small breakdown. It's not a blueprint, but I'm going to just kind of verbalize real quick where I think your emphasis should be, just because we are starting to get into these body systems a little bit. And I wanted to make sure that you guys are making the most of your time and being efficient with your studying this week. So the exam will be on Monday, whatever day that is, April 6th. You will have, just like last time, you'll have the 60 minutes to take it. It's going to be 50 questions. Um, Make sure that you guys are utilizing the time appropriately. Um, do not go over the time, guys, okay? I have it specifically timed. Most of my exams, I have a minute per question, because that's what ATI does. That's what your NCLEX is going to do. So you guys need to get in the habit of making sure that you are not going over on time. For the most part, everyone's doing great with the testing process this way. So the breakdown, I would say a large part of my questions on this next exam are going to come from the gastrointestinal, which shouldn't be a surprise to you guys because there's 100,000 recordings on GI. So I've got about 15 questions coming from the GI chapter alone. I think the only thing that I did not cover was gallstones, so make sure you guys are looking over that. I do have a question on gallstones for you. The other thing I wanted to make reference to is the transesophageal fistulas. Those are in a different chapter. I want to say it's in the newborn chapter, but TEF and esophageal atresia will both be on this exam. So make sure that if it's not covered very well in the GI chapter, that you go to that newborn chapter and go over that stuff. Cystic fibrosis, I've never covered it with gastrointestinal before, so I'm not really sure. I mean, I get why they did it, but most of the time it's considered a respiratory disorder because that's where most of their complications are. So cystic fibrosis, I will cover on the third exam under respiratory. So look over it briefly, but it's not going to be tested on this first exam. It'll be on exam, or the second exam. It'll be on exam 3. For GU or renal, you're going to have 12 questions on that. Now, the chapter that is labeled hematologic, immune, and cancer, that's a pretty hefty chapter. So I'm going to split it. Hematologic, you'll have about 6 questions from there. Immune, I'm only going to ask you one question out of that chapter. And then cancer is where I'm going to pull a lot more of my questions. So I think I'm looking at about 10 or 11 from that area. Now with the cancers, I'm not going to ask like nitty gritty details, okay? A lot of cancer questions are basic cancer, chemotherapy, and a lot of with cancer is communication. So make sure that you're going over your therapeutic communication. There's always lots of questions on ATI about how to approach the parents of a child with cancer. So make sure that you look over little things that like a parent would ask you, for example. So that's where I'm going with that chapter. And then the last chapter that I didn't do a recording on this, it's going to be end of life. There will be 5 questions from that chapter as well. And again, a lot of where I'm going with this stuff is going to be on communication. Our big things in pediatrics is maximizing growth and development and therapeutic communication with the parents and the children. Okay, so that's really where we're going with a lot of our ped stuff. Yes, it's important that you know some of the interventions and those kind of things, but a lot of where we're going is always ask yourself, does it maximize growth and development, and is my communication therapeutic with the parents? Okay, so that's my rundown. I hope you guys have a good week studying. I'm here if you guys need me. You're more than welcome to email me. I can send you a link if you need to do a face-to-face, but I know you guys are busy elsewhere studying this week. Don't forget the GI quiz today, okay? I know that you have another exam, but don't forget the GI quiz. GU quiz on Wednesday, and then we're looking at exam 2 on Monday, okay? The only other thing I wanted to say about next week's exam is I have My own defense is actually next week for my dissertation. So it will be on Tuesday. So I probably will not get your exams graded on Tuesday morning like I did on this last one. So just bear with me. I'll get it done when I can, but we're probably looking at more Wednesday before I get those graded next week. Okay? Let me know if you need anything, and I will talk to you guys later.